So I'm excited to be here with you. Guys, I have Sandy Michael McDonald with me today. Oh, you ready to talk?
Good morning
Good morning.
to you. I'm always ready to talk. I'm ready
Yes.
to talk. Let's
Yes. All right, so I have a bunch of questions here,
talk. Okay.
but I want to actually start from, let's talk about what is your title?
Okay. I'm the director of the Office of Economic and Small Business Development for Broward County Government.
All right. Take me back to day one, if you can go back there.
Oh,
When
man.
you were first in this position, what were you doing then? And then I want you to bring me up to speed on what's different today.
So the county hired me in May of 2013.
Okay.
Actually, my anniversary day, I love it, is Memorial Day.
Oh, let me write that down.
So I'll leave that alone. You can figure out what you want to figure out. But the day I first came to work, I came to the Office of Economic and Small Business Development. It was set up back then as Economic Development and International. It was set up back then as small business, and it was set up back then as community relations outreach. And the charge or challenge or opportunity that was given this program was, hey, let's find a way to make sure businesses in Broward, based on the good materials, services, or products they provided, the county wanted to average 25% of what we buy. And that's all the county agencies: airport, convention and visitors, port, transportation, libraries, parks and rec, whatever the county agency, we were trying to average 25% of what we buy to buy from local small business.
Nice.
So the whole challenge or the whole opportunity was take the program as is and grow it. Now the program had a few challenges, and they had been without actually a director for 2 years at that time. When they did a series of interviews with me and others, and then they selected me. So the whole idea was for me, coming to South Florida, coming from Michigan, let me at least go find out what it is we're charged with doing. That's the vision and the mission from the county Board of Commissioners. What it is our county administrator, Bertha Henry at the time, wanted us to do, and then come down to this wonderful office, and it was a wonderful office then as well as now, and see exactly what it is that we are doing. And from there, this upcoming May will be 12 years.
Wow, 12 whole years.
And we can certainly demonstrate and show the growth, the expansion of not just different programs and initiatives you might ask me about later, but the synergy between our office, different county agencies, community partners, all in an effort to support the small business community and getting these opportunities. And even if it wasn't about county procurement, assisting small businesses in Broward with understanding how to better their business, how to scale their business, where they can find other resources. So again, we wanted to incorporate the entire title of the Office of Economic and Small Business.
Okay.
So those small business focus on creating those real opportunities where if you provide a good material or service, you could be a part of this county's average. But even if you didn't provide that good material or service, we still wanted to help you as a small business.
And
then
you do. And you do. Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
And we started creating different initiatives and projects to help that along while we also worked with the small business.
I'm excited about where you were. So bring me up to where we are today in opposition to what it was before.
Yeah. So we won't say in opposition. I'm glad you put it that way, because a lot of supporters are those who are unfortunately naysayers of the program.
Ooh.
Put it that way. But the reality is you have to start with where you are. But more importantly, you have to know exactly where it is you want to go.
Yeah.
And we do this in our Coffin Entrepreneurship Program when I'm talking about listening to your business. You really do need to know where you're going first. So what we recognize, or what I recognize, is that with an exciting team of small business staff, with a county commission who had this office's back, with a county administrator and team who supported this office, the key really was, how do we create more opportunities for what it is we say we want to do and where we want to go? So it did mean establishing as an office more relationships with county agencies. Not that we didn't have a program, but did we have a robust program? Not that we didn't have a program, but did we have everyone just as excited as this office of creating those opportunities? Not that we didn't have a great program, but was everyone aware of why you had a program? Why it was necessary to try to average? And we'll jump forward. Average became one of the biggest things that we needed to get rid of. See, when you start talking about averaging, the commission wanted us to average 25% of what we did in small business. Well, we all remember that sixth grade math. To come to average, you're going to get some highs, you're going to get some lows, and you have to try to average.
Yeah.
Well, we were trying to average. Never got above 14%. Trying to reach that 25. Now, 14%, when you're talking about $800 million being spent, is still a lot of money. But is it where you were trying to go? So I do recall in 2018, after a series of conversations, meetings, the advisory board was very helpful, working with staff and getting a better understanding from the business community back in 15 and 16. I actually did a listening tour.
Oh, I love those kind of things.
We went around the county trying to describe the program. At that time, I was 3 years old. And we said we just simply want to hear good, bad, or indifferent.
Okay.
And we actually posted the listening tour.
What?
We're not scrubbing.
Good, bad, and indifferent?
Yes. We're not scrubbing. We're not hiding. I need to know for what the county is supposed to do, for what this office is supposed to do. Are we doing it or not?
Yeah.
So we got that information. It was that information, along with the support of the Small Business Advisory Board, that I eventually went to the county commission in 2018 and said, if we're serious about small business, then we need to understand it's not about average. We need to be at least. So now we know we were getting ready to rub some shoulders the wrong way with at least. Because when we started the at least 25%, that means for all the prime contractors, they now knew no matter what the bid and what I do, the most I'm going to take home is 75 cents on the dollar. Because Broward wants now at least 25 to be spent with small business. Mm-hmm. Of course, the first year, you got some of the pushback, and folks just didn't believe you had the capacity. But at the end of the day, at least was the right way to go. At least demonstrated that we also made sure that the county knew, and I'll use today's stat. There's over 85,000 registered businesses in Broward County. 31 municipalities, 1,300 square miles, 2 million residents, at least 85,000 registered. And to all my friends, I said registered. Because I got folks out here who's not registered.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about registered with me. I mean, starting with the state in Broward County, 85,000 businesses. But here's the thing about average. If I have 85,000 businesses, and Small Business Administration, SBA, says small business is 1 to 500 employees, what I needed to get my commission to understand, what I need to get the business community to understand, what I need to get our community partners to understand, what I needed to get those potential certified small businesses to understand. 89% right now, this day, this is factual, 89% of the 85,000 businesses have 20 employees or less.
Right.
So Broward is truly a small business community. Mm-hmm. So back then in 2018, I was saying to the commission, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Commissioner, if we're serious about small business, let's not try to average. Since almost 90% of all your businesses are small anyway, let's start the goal at least 25. Okay. And what I'm excited to say right now, we did that in 2018, started the program in 2019. Right now, 34% of what Broward County buys, we buy from locally certified small business. And remember, all businesses in Broward aren't small with the capacity that they provide a service or good that the county buys. These are just the ones based on what the county actually buys. So now, where back it was a challenge at 11, 14, 15% in 2013, 14, 15, and before, now we're proud to say with a goal of at least 25, we're coming in somewhere over 34%. So again, that's real dollars that's being left right in the community. Because the key part is 34 is still not 100. So I don't do everything. I'll probably never get to a day where I do everything. But 34 simply means if a small business is a part of or has a $10 million contract, some of the money that the small business is going to receive They're going to need to buy supplies and materials. They're going to buy some of those supplies and materials from other businesses in Broward.
Right,
It
exactly.
also means that if a small business is a part of a $10 million contract or has a $10 million contract, they got employees. They're going to pay their employees. Some, if not most, live in Broward. So they're going to pay rent or mortgage, go to the grocery store, gas station, Dunkin' Donuts. So you're keeping dollars in Broward. The more opportunity as a county through this program, you can afford small businesses opportunities to win. You're also, as a part of the office's name, Office of Economic, you're also affording opportunities to grow your economy to scale. You're also creating economic impact. You're also creating opportunities for the dollar to turn multiple times to even help other businesses in your county. That equates to GDP. So I might end up with $100 million of activity for multiple projects in 1 year. But the reality is, based on how those dollars are allocated and spent, that $100 million can easily be 120 or 130 million in GDP. Yeah. So that's where we're interested in continuously maintaining some opportunity to use small businesses who provide a good material or service in the county based on things that the county buys to assure that that program continues to try to match at least 25%.
I love this. Now, I feel like this lends to all of the events that you guys put on and the connections that you help businesses to make with other businesses. So, are you able to lead with that conversation quite often? We have to create these networking opportunities for the other businesses to do business with each other.
It does. It does. I mean, and there's multiple groups and organizations. You got your 14 or 15 chambers, 31 municipalities. We got Arrow, the Alliance of Entrepreneur Resource Organizations. That's 20 groups or 20 organizations right here in Broward that are doing something with aspiring entrepreneurs, startup businesses, small businesses, and businesses looking to scale. The whole idea is that, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot that we do. Everyone also doesn't want to do business with government. We're fine with that. Just as we also understand government doesn't buy everything. Right. If you are a purse or handbag manufacturer, I'm sorry, right now we don't buy that. So since we don't buy that, it's not about you getting certified, but it is about making sure that we can understand or help your business in case you're looking for a location, in case you want to understand the state's manufacturing tax credit, in case you want to understand different markets, including international. These are other ways that we can assist. So we lead, as you mentioned, when it comes to workshops, when it comes to symposiums. We host our own. We have a major conference each year, the Broward and Beyond Business Conference.
I want to talk about that soon too.
We do a lot of workshops, but we also attend a lot of other community partner events to always show support, but to make sure that if anyone is working with businesses or aspiring entrepreneurs, at least through those organizations, they know what the county provides. So we're clear. We don't do everything. I'm government. And I've been in government in DC. I've been in government in Michigan. I'm now government in Florida. Even if we could do everything, we shouldn't. It's not our space. It's not our role. And we should always make sure that we're aligning ourselves with community partners that can do those things that we can't, and also own the fact there's other community partners that can do some of the things we do better. So we should be utilizing those partnerships. So to your question, we lead in every workshop, every meeting, every group or organization we participate in with the fact that there are opportunities for small businesses. Our office works with them on a daily basis. We need you to pass our message, and we want to pass along your message. And collectively, we can grow the county's business community, starting with the small business community, because we want to be tied directly and indirectly to 31 cities, and it's either 14 or 15 now chambers. We want to be tied to the Arrow, all the organizations, Broward College, Jim Moran, the Urban League, SBDC, SCORE, City of Hollywood. There's at least 20 of us right now, including the brand new Allen B. LeVay and NSU Broward Center of Innovation. All of us collectively are trying to say at different spots with different resources at different levels, we support small business. So again, our lead is always, hey, how can we assist you? How can you assist us when getting our message out to the 2 million residents and everyone else who might be interested in knowing how to start a business? How do we work with businesses? what's the scale of opportunity, and yes, even that special piece about international, because I always have to throw that plug.
Yeah.
Love America, we all do. But in business, I always need to make sure every business knows
There's more out there.
95% of the world's purchasing power is outside the US.
Mhm.
So we have special things that we do as an office to make sure anyone who is into international can participate.
I love that. Now, going back to you speaking, you just mentioned the Allen B. Levan Center. I want to give a little testimony. That's the first time that I met you. And
Yeah.
so, yes, and what you were just speaking about a moment ago, the connections that you make with different organizations and things like that. I first met you through ICABA.
hmm
And so, what you're saying, I mean, I just have to say this right now because you spoke about what you do and it's real, coming from me right now. I'm in Akaba. I met you there. And then we developed a connection and a relationship from there. So you came out to those events as you just spoke to make connections with the small business owners. So thank you.
No, absolutely. Thank you. And
Yeah.
that's one of the key things about even being government service or public servant. At the end of the day, for all the things that we do that I do believe are great, fascinating, I can't require everyone to come to us. So if you're really about the business and extending the invitation, you must go to where the business is.
Right.
So that's why we try to participate in as many things as we can. We can't do it all, but we have to make sure that we have a presence where businesses can understand that Broward County as a government, through its Board of County Commissioners, actually has an office, programs, and initiatives designed to support business,
Yeah.
inclusive of small business.
Awesome. So what are some key initiatives that your office is currently working on to support small businesses?
Well, another key initiative that we're getting ready to roll out is that the County Commission last year started a pilot micro grant, $2,500 micro grant, and they want to continue that. So we'll be rolling out the second phase of the pilot micro grant later in May, no later than June. The other initiative that's going to be key is recognizing that with everything that's going on now, we're going to do more workshops and technical assistance about reminding our businesses, especially our small business, that the day they met me or before they ever met me, they went into business to be a business. They went into business because they had an idea, they had a solution, or they wanted to sign the front of the check instead of the back of the check, or your grandmama left you a whole bunch of insurance money and simply say, baby, go become a baker for me. Whatever the reason, they went into business. And then we recognize that while a business can be nurtured and supported in growing their business, the county also had a small business program that if you so happen to be in business and you provide something that we do, let's get you engaged. Well, with everything that is being challenged today around business, especially small business, especially minority business, especially women business, even those three letters DEI, with all that going on, it is our job to make sure that our business community understands you are business first. Now, our program as of today is still our program. So we're going to do what we do. But the federal program is shifting. Some certifications may go away. Some certifications may water down. So the most recent initiative we have to launch is making sure that there's real education and real information shared with our business community, specifically our small, so they'll know where and when they can still leverage their certifications. Always keep your ear to the ground and understand what's going on. But don't worry about those things that are not directly impacting your utilization or your growth. So our upcoming initiative is about more technical assistance and training to make sure that businesses know, I still need you to be a business. With multiple certifications, with 5 or 10 certifications, or even if the day comes without certification, I still need you to be a business, because the thing that needs to be recognized is certifications, all of them. DBE, ACDBE, MBE, MWBE, HUD Zone, 8A, SBE, CB. If they went away tomorrow, if they haven't,
Okay.
they're
good.
not. But if
Not yet.
They did.
Not right now.
the point is, all the agencies that were using those certifications and using those businesses with the certifications to buy goods, materials, and services, they still gonna be buying.
Right. They've developed relationships.
So if the certification went away, and that's what I'm hoping, businesses are doing exactly what businesses are supposed to do. Since the adage is that people do business with people they know and trust,
Mm-hmm.
if you had a contract, if you've been participating in processes, if you've been a part of initiatives, I'm hoping as a business, you are forming relationships. You're nurturing and building those relationships. Because if certifications went away, they have not went away,
Mm-hmm.
they have not went away. But if they go away, business is still going to happen. Are you in position to still do business?
Mm-hmm.
Have you nurtured enough relationships to do business? Have you shown yourself, proven yourself, demonstrated that you got the capacity to do business? Because the same things that are being purchased now using certification in some small businesses are still going to be purchased later.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still going to need somebody to provide the service. So I get to say, I get to challenge, I get to support my small business community, while every certification that I'm aware of that we leverage, and we're responsible for administering 49 CFR, Code of Federal Regulations, DBE, ACDBE, all of ours are in play.
Okay.
So if they're in play right now, this day, this week, this month, next month, come get the money. Come participate. Come engage the process. And if you haven't been doing it in the past, I now need you to, once you get in this game, start building and developing a relationship. Nurture a relationship. Handle business. Whereas if someone said one day, 5, 10 years from now, that certification went away, handle business where folks will say certification or not, I still choose to work with you.
That's right.
That's business.
Yeah.
Because even I tell my small businesses, congratulations, when you win that county contract, I don't call you small no more. See, that's a business. That's an agreement. You got to be able to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
You filled out that RFP. Some evaluation committee selected you. You got that dollar value. You said you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
You use small business and certification to create the opportunity to competitively participate. But once you win the bid, your business. So you need to be able to go handle your business.
Yeah. So tell me, how does one directly get information about how you guys can help them?
Oh,
So where do they go?
So our CRO,
To be informed.
our community relations outreach, Monique Headley and her entire team.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they go see it around you in this. So there is social media. There's our direct website. There is always old school phone call. You can always email and schedule a meeting. Look, we have a website that tells you everything we're doing and what we're looking forward to do. And you're always invited to attend. Every workshop, we're finding creative ways to make sure that that announcement hits the streets, mm-hmm. and that individuals have a way to register and attend. And we need to throw this in because it's not wasted. Anything we do, all things we do, I don't want to use the word free. It's prepaid. Your tax dollars has covered this office.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, when you say free, people talking about, I don't want to go nothing free because it ain't worth. Oh no, this is worth it. And I'm sorry, you've already paid for it. Right. So the reality is we try to make sure that you have access with your tax dollars to all the things that can aid you and support you in growing your business. So again, everywhere from our Broward.org/econdev, that's short for economic development, that's our website. And you even have an opportunity to subscribe to our weekly newsletter,
yes,
which comes out every Wednesday.
I get it.
So we have ways to reach out to us. And again, we're comfortable as an office, starting with me, our assistant director, and all the way down to our managers. If you see something or read something and you believe you need to more personalize it, you have the opportunity to call, mm-hmm. do a virtual meeting, or do a face-to-face. And that's anyone. Okay. That's everyone. We don't turn down anyone about understanding economic, international. We even now have the film commission, small business, whatever it is we do. And you believe I need more than what that 30-minute presentation showed, or whatever we do, I need more than that 90-minute workshop I just attended. Everyone has a right to just schedule a meeting or schedule a call. But the multiple ways, as you mentioned, there are several social media ways to follow us, along with the main website, along with the fact that we are also going to make sure that you don't have to guess about who we are and what we do. So we push as much out as we can, especially starting with that Wednesday night newsletter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's really good. Oh, man. All right, let me see. What else are we going to talk about today? Oh, wait. I feel like some of my questions have already been answered, which is really cool.
Yeah, good.
All right. Directly, How does economic development in Broward County benefit small businesses?
It does. So our economic engines, our big boys who really generate opportunities, is airport,
Okay.
is the cruise port, is tourism. Remember, this is who we are as a county. And those are the major economic engines. And though not an economic engine, a very impactful initiative, program, and opportunity, as well as the vision of the county, is transit.
Mhm.
Creating more ways to get folks from A to B, AB to ABC, the whole 9 yards. And even with the new initiative called MAP Broward, the Mobility Advancement Program, which we used to call surtax, all shows economic strength. So how does economic really align with small business? And again, that's one of the reasons why I not only accepted this job, that was one of the things the county wanted to do. Well, if the majority of the businesses in your community happen to be small, and if you describe your economic engine, and if you understand, still today, the statistics might show that 54% of all the businesses in Broward, remember I told you it's over 85,000, but 54% of them, the discipline is still something related to hospitality. Well, then small business and economics go hand in hand. Because even when it comes to transit, even when it comes to airport, even when it comes to cruise port, even when it comes to CVB, because of the county's program, even when they're buying or creating services or doing new construction, they have to use our small businesses.
Mhm.
Even as we roll out MAP Broward and we do these infrastructure program improvements, transportation operation, transportation services, and there's going to be by 2028 that train that when family and friends fly into FLL,
Mhm.
they'll catch that train that'll take them over to the expanded convention center and new hotel, as well as the
Oh,
port.
okay.
So even within all those activities, you got to build it. Oh, I forgot.
We need
Broward
people.
County has a small business program, so small businesses are going to be a part of those economics.
Mhm.
So for the things that we do in the county that we classify as the economic engines that really drive the economy, bring in major revenue, small business, since more than 89% of all the businesses happen to be small,
Mhm.
they play a vital role. But it's not just in the construction. It's not just in the startup. The same will hold true. I mean, we're currently working right now with Matthew Southwest, Balfour Beatty, and the Omni as we're building the new 801 room suite hotel. But I just got my report from them last week of the things that are going to continue to happen. That once the convention center is done and the hotel is done, where there's still business opportunities for our businesses and our small businesses. They still are going to need different services that at the end of the day is not going to come from my neighbors to the north and south. It's going to come from businesses right here in Broward. So again, your connection or your question connecting economic and small business is simply because for all of the major engines of Broward County, for what they do and for who they service and for how they do it, it's inclusive of small business.
Mhm. This is so good. This conversation feels so warm and fuzzy. Do you personally have any success stories of any businesses that have benefited from this office's programs?
Too many to tell. Too many to tell. And seriously,
Mm-hmm.
too many to tell. We've met businesses who, at the end of the day, started this program.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I told you about the tour, not believing this program. We've met businesses who got certified, didn't win their first 2 or 3 contracts,
Mm-hmm.
but then circle back
Okay.
to find out how they could better themselves or how they could improve at least on the RFP or the application process. I have those businesses who have now actually graduated because they took the steps.
Yes.
We've had some surprising businesses who, at the end of the day, we didn't recognize. And we never promise that you're going to win. See, that's one thing I can't do. I can never promise you're going to win a contract.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when it's all said and done, we've actually had businesses get certified, and within 6 months, they don't win a contract. And within a year, they don't have multiple contracts. The whole idea is that if a business says, remember, I'm government, so I can't advise.
Okay.
We share information.
Mm-hmm.
We make sure you know the career path. We make sure you have the access and the information. You still, as a business, have to do your part. But what we actually believe, inclusive of that Wednesday night newsletter, that hot tip section, we share enough information above board that if a business is willing to connect the dots, they can be competitive in Broward County opportunities. This is inclusive of understanding that, again, no one's going to promise you're going to win. But at the end of the day, if I can make sure that you're aware in advance of what the opportunity is, if I can make sure if you're talking about a subcontractor, you can find out some of the likely primes that might be bidding so you can join their team. If there's a way where you can go back and see a similar project from 5 years ago, what the solicitation was, what the bid tab was, who actually won, and see the whole contract before that bid ever comes up again.
Yeah.
All of that puts you as a small business in position to be competitive on that next set. Our job, our responsibility is to make sure that since a business has to be able to deliver, ours is to make sure that we give you the opportunity to present yourself where you actually can deliver. So though it probably wouldn't
It
be
sounds
right.
like something.
I'm just saying it probably wouldn't be right for me to start screaming different names. But I do want to go back to that point because a couple of years ago we did that at one of our conferences, at the BBB conference.
Yeah.
I even respectfully contacted businesses and I told them, now make sure that your situation good because I'm going to scream and shout your praise.
Okay.
We want to tell them about your company. We want to tell them about you. We want to tell them about the dollar value. We want to tell them that you're graduating or just graduating. And I shared as one example the first list of 49 small businesses who was on the initial work of the convention center expansion. And at that time, there was $79 million spent with our small businesses. And that was extremely successful just for the first phase. We're not done with the convention center, though it's anticipated opening up the new hotel this Thanksgiving. But what we now know from a most recent meeting, $209 million today have been paid to local small businesses on that project. And that's just that project alone. It has nothing to do with the fact that we expanded one of the port activities because we now have Disney. Has nothing to do with a brand new supervisors of election building. Has nothing to do with all of the infrastructure activity that's taking place. But again, there is a real opportunity for our businesses to be successful. We are going to have a list this year also of businesses over the last 3 to 5 years who've just graduated from our program, as well as some of the businesses. And I have this one business in mind. I won't say their name, but the numbers are crazy. The program doesn't take money out of small businesses' pocket when you graduate. If you graduate and you're in the middle of a project or project is extended, you're still allowed to be counted as a CBE. Okay. We don't penalize the prime who hired you maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So you can probably graduate and then still make millions more under the same name because you were a part of the project. So I have, for my construction, you're allowed to average $9 million or less over 3 years to stay in the program. Okay. When that convention center started, I had a small business doing about $7 million. So they're close. That small business graduated last year. But that's because the last 3 years, they averaged over 20 million. So from my program to what was a real opportunity to other business they were also leveraging and doing because they were doing business here or certified here, when they left me, at the end of the day, they were doing over 20 million. So our small business is small, but financially or through the scale of dollar, it doesn't have to be small. That's a pretty decent size. This was a construction company. So we have a lot of those examples. But the best thing about those examples is we also afford those businesses the opportunity to, in our Wednesday night newsletter, tell their story. We want to tell their story. We want to share their story. We want them to go to that link and either schedule an appointment or go to that link, fill out the template, and either way staff is going to get with you, and we eventually want to tell your story. So again, as a small business or as a certified small business, that's another opportunity for us to sing your praise.
Wow, so you're going to help and highlight. Wow.
Oh, absolutely.
Talk to me about what's next, because I know something amazing is coming up. So what is that? That connects the dots. Because that's what you said earlier.
Yeah. So there's a lot actually coming up. I mean, so the next 2 or 3 years, and based on some recent emails, the next 5 months are going to be challenging. That's going to be turned into positive opportunities for what we're doing as a county and for what this office is doing. But even when you said what's coming up next, a part of what's coming up next actually started only 2.5 years ago. So as an office, and remember I described in the beginning who we were when they met me in 2013. But since then, we've also added a film commission.
Okay.
So people would be like, what's that really about, a film commission? Well, Broward has been shooting film forever. And the state used to even have a film incentive that they stopped in 2016 so we can be competitive with Georgia and other locations. But even though film was being shot here, movies and productions were happening here, Broward wasn't intentional about making that happen. So 2.5, 3 years ago, the county commission decided we want to be intentional. So they said, hey, let's go hire a film commissioner. Let's come up with a film office. And I love this part when it was all said and done. Let's put them in the Office of Economic and Small Business Development. And people say, why? I said, because anything we do here, it really is about jobs. It's about high wage paying jobs. It's about creating opportunities for our small business. It's about creating opportunities for entrepreneurs. So having the film commissioner come here made a perfect fit. So we put a solicitation out, and the next thing you know, we're hiring the film commissioner from Miami, Sandy Lighterman. She had been down there for 14 years. And then she needed a number two. We went through a process, and we hired Christy from up in Palm Beach. So I'm sitting in the middle, so now I got two of the best in the state, and that's how we started the film office. But why is that relevant in terms of the initiatives and the next big things and what's happening? We're trying to make sure that business, especially small business, recognize their opportunity in film and in production. We've done a series of transferable skills workshops. So we work with some of our construction and our carpenters, some of the folks who's at the convention center. And we did a workshop to make sure that they understood those skills can be transferred to building film sets.
Oh my goodness.
So let's understand that. We did the same thing with
Wait. Who's coming up with all of this stuff? Like,
oh no, staff.
Where's it coming from?
Staff across the board. Because the ideal is that we have staff who have expertise in certain areas. Now, my job, and we'll use this film as one example. We hired Sandy Lighterman, and she has expertise in production, in film, and attracting film. She's known all over the world, not the country. So coming here was great. So she knew everything about film. Only thing I needed to do was to support her and challenge her with, hey, for all the things you know in film, you have to find ways for my money to include business and small business. So now she gets to think about it. Because again, she gets to understand, hey, the county's over here with a goal. At least 25% of everything we do with small business. So film's a little different. So I don't know if I start you at 25, but I do need you to know, as the film commissioner, what you do. If someone wants our incentive dollars, they got to use my small businesses. They have to use the county businesses. A percentage of the whole film shoot must be in Broward County. And then they got to tap my universities for an intern. So for our incentive program for film production, you can come and shoot film and enjoy it. We'll permit you. Congratulations, it happened in Broward. But if you want some incentive dollars back, 10, 15, or 20% of what you just did, if you want that paid back, then you have to meet the incentive criteria. Did you do 60% more of the shoot in Broward? Did you hire Broward businesses? Did you hire Broward small businesses? Did you do an intern from one of the universities? Do those things. We then provide an incentive. That's important. And then that comes to your part of the question. When now challenging Sandy, hey, you got to make a way for all these to happen. That's when she said, everything from production assistants, that was the first one, to carpentry for a transferable skill, to accountants, including seamstress. And the next one that's coming up is because production needs this no matter what, hair and makeup. So I would never certify a beautician or a barber because Broward County doesn't buy it. So it's not about my 25%. But since production needs it, then we're like, okay, let's do some transferable skills. So for the first time, I'm getting ready to welcome and invite barbers and beauty salons around Broward to understand there's a chance when production comes, they need someone. Come learn how to transfer your skill. A big one that we did do, I think was last month, was catering.
I saw
There's
that.
no production with people not eating. And
Mm-hmm.
production sometimes go 10, 12, 13 hours. So because of that, we told the caterers and the chefs in the restaurants, and we did a strong a virtual workshop. I think they had over 85 people participating. But when it was all said and done, we now have folks engaging the process. Because yes, that's one of the more readily available opportunities. A lot of my other ones might not be ready. But every production who comes, if you want my money, I know you're going to be eating. So if you want to sort of satisfy my incentive, then go get one of my businesses, go get one of my chefs, go get one of my caterers,
Right.
and preferably get one who's already certified. So that's the thing about the next best thing, the initiatives that are coming up. The things that are coming up, the things that are on the horizon are also based on the different projects and initiatives the county are trying to look to fulfill. We're just trying to make sure, whether it's IT, whether it's platforms, whether it's financial services, whether it's program management, whether it's construction and trades, that we're identifying businesses who can participate in those type of activities.
Yeah. So can we get into BBB that's coming up?
Get into BBBC 2025, May 9th at the Broward County Convention Center. And it's going to be special because we were there last year, but we'll be on the brink in May of a convention center hotel that's opening by Thanksgiving. So our group who will participate this year will get a chance to see a lot of the excitement around what's going to be real with the grand opening later this fall. But BBBC 2025, why do we even do the conference? Because at the end of the day, I mentioned earlier, it's not about us. It's about us and all the partners, all the community partners, all the municipalities, all the chambers, all my Aero members. And we want to make sure, since we started this conference 8 years ago, that there's at least one day when we can bring as much as possible under one roof, including bringing some hopefully inspiring speakers where small businesses get an understanding to see what it is. See, that's the thing about this one day. They get to see what it is we're responsible for every day. They get to see the different community partners we work with every day. They get to see and learn the type of things we want to put in front of them as opportunities to be a business, especially a small business, every day. You get to see it one day under one roof. But if you think about it, and going back to your point about connecting the dots, if you think about it, you have a chance to come see over 100 to 200 vendors and exhibitors who has some form of resource or support to help a business or a small business or a startup. There's organizations that help with organizational charts, organizations that help with the business plan, organizations that help with access to capital, but bigger than access to capital is capital readiness. A lot of small businesses just not ready for the capital they think they want to borrow as a loan. And we also want to make sure that they're familiar with the different type of lenders that are available. But we also want to make sure that they recognize that a lot of these services, once again, I won't use the word free, but are prepaid, because a lot of the other organizations as well provide these services at no fee, no cost. So BBB is one day that we can make sure not just the small business community, but the business community gets a chance to meet its networking partners, its community partners. Because again, I'm government, can't do it all, shouldn't do it all. If I thought I could, I still shouldn't. But with all these partners, we can explain why Broward County is a community to consider if you are starting a business, if you want to scale a business, or if you want to find out where there's synergy and opportunities to grow a business. We have the resources, we have the infrastructure, and we have partners again like the Levan Center. The whole idea of our Kaufman International Fast Track. We do half-day workshops for entrepreneurs who want to get started. That's called the Intentional Entrepreneur. And businesses that are about 3, 5, or 7 years old, listening to your business to help you scale to decide where you want to go based on that vision. And then, of course, we do a 10-week course that we call 11, because we are a member of the Kaufman International Fast Track. And the new venture program is a 10-week course that will help a business from beginning to launch, bare minimum. If they do all their assignments, including the out-of-class homework, they'll end up with a business plan. We call it 11 weeks because we also want to prepare them for pitch, for competition. Because we found a way as a county to offer some seed support 10,000, 7,500, 5,000 to
Nice.
those who want to pitch their business plan to a group of professionals we pick each year, and then we select the first, second, and third. So the idea between the Levan Center that we're partnered with, the idea between our Kaufman program, the idea in the collaboration with the other 19, which totals 20 Aero members, the Alliance of Entrepreneur Resource Organizations, when you combine all of those, that is something that we have as a county that many of our competing counties, not only in this state, across the country, don't have. We have entrepreneurship programs and not just our own. We have technical assistance for small business, not just our own. We have scalability for small business, not just our own. So we're all adding to how can we help existing businesses expand, and how can we recruit new businesses to come to Broward, and how we can take a creative mind from a dream, a concept, to a white paper, and take them all the way to the maturity stage of a business. All of that, not just Broward, but with Broward and his partners, is what we're trying to do.
Wow. So Broward is a county that is not selfish.
At all.
Not.
At all.
So not selfish. Wow. One that comes into the conference, how would you move around if you were an attendee, small
So,
business owner walking in?
so staff would tell them, or even make sure I know. So the ideal is that if I'm a small business, I definitely want to stay in tune with our website.
Okay.
I definitely want to be getting our Wednesday night newsletter. The website, that broward.org/econdale, it's on there now in terms of who we are, what we're doing, what we're looking to do. But the closer you get to May 9th, you're going to be able to see everything that's written and where you need to go, what the times are, those opportunities. And that's going to be your key to say, hey, I'm in. But first, I take that back. Before I say I am, that means I better register.
Yes, you're right. Number
So
one.
first thing is you need to
Click
get
the
on there
button.
and register. And again, we have robust attendance,
Yeah.
so we can be open. 900 plus will definitely be in attendance. I'm a poor man, so I can't feed 1,000 or 1,200. So register on the front
On
end.
time.
Get in to fit in.
Okay.
But they will be able, if nothing else, through our website. They can start right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to change next week. It's going to change next month. It's going to change the following week. And they'll be able to see as we build out the program and stay in tune with everything we're doing. And without question, May 9th is the event. You'll get 2 weeks, if not 3 weeks before May 9th, and you'll have the entire flowing schedule. So you can decide, which is a good question to me. You can decide how to schedule your day.
Mm-hmm.
You can decide to carve out your day. And you can decide based on the things and the events and the people that are speaking, where it is and the parts that you know you don't want to miss. Mm-hmm. So the easiest thing, starting now with registering, follow our website every single week. Mm-hmm. Just make it your business to find out what did they add this week? What did they add this week? To get to a point, at least 2 weeks before the conference, you know and have a feel of everything that's going to be engaged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've been to the conference, so
yes, you have been.
It's amazing. And I've made some great connections. I've got great information. I just have to say that right now because this is not something that people walk into and it's just, nothing's random. I can tell that you guys probably had 1,000 meetings to figure out.
No, my team had 1,000
your team,
meetings.
okay, your team, not you, your team. Yeah, to just make sure that everything flows, and it does.
But I'm gonna add to that because you said you can tell that it's not random.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one of the things that the staff did. So last year was our first year at the convention center because we had been previously at Signature Grand.
Right.
And it just fits so well. So the convention center is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So last year we trying to navigate, how are we going to really navigate this? But speaking of random, staff witnessed and noticed that through the programming, the coming and the goings, that our businesses gravitated to the exhibitors.
Okay.
Our businesses decided this is everybody under one roof. There's folks here I need to meet.
Mm-hmm.
And not disrespectfully, but through programming, staff recognized the exhibitors and networking is key.
Yeah, absolutely.
You must allow people to engage with people, to engage with all these exhibitors and the vendors. So intentionally, there's a portion of the program. Now, the exhibitors have always been there. We always made sure that they was in the walkable lanes. We always made sure they had good communication and good contact with the crowd. And we've heard that every year, even going all the way back to the beginning of Signature Grand. but we're now going to add to that intentionally. We're going to block out a period when we want them to get up out their seats to specifically go to the exhibitors.
Okay.
And spend time with them as well as each other networking, because for all the information we're sharing, everything is supposed to be about post the event. What did you walk away with that can be of benefit? Mm-hmm. So a good speech is good. A good presentation is good. Right. You can be told and given action items. But if you're in Broward, you need to meet some other folks in Broward. You need to meet some businesses and organizations in Broward that you can follow up with the next day. And if you want to just have your weekend, the following Monday. Mm-hmm. So you will see, as the schedule comes out, an intentional opportunity to get up out your seat, go spend dedicated time with the exhibitors and the vendors, mm-hmm. and with each other networking. Then flow within the rest of the program, and another opportunity to do the same intentionally.
So that is for the attendees, but that's also for the vendors.
Absolutely.
For the vendors to have they feel secure, yeah, that the conference is setting aside space for people to come to them, because vendors always know. I mean, I've been a vendor at mm-hmm. a lot of events. You know, there's all of these classes and people are looking for the education, and the vendor will feel like, oh my gosh, I've been sitting here. You know, people are so engaged in all of these other things. What about me? Right. So, you know, that's about the attendees, but that is so about the vendors as well.
It is.
Supporting them.
It is. And it's one thing that, you know, as an officer, I'm government. So I'm limited in capacity of what I can do. Mm-hmm. And I understand that most organizations always have some degree of a public information or community relation outreach. But see, that's the things that even when, especially because our vendors pay a fee, right? It's not only intentional for them, but it's one of the lessons that when we're talking to businesses about doing business, and you'll be amazed, it's not just small businesses. Businesses in county talk to us about doing business. We always tell folks, no. Take a look at your business model. Because at the end of the day, you're right. I have some vendors who are them, oh my God, I got nothing else to give and I'm going to talk my way out. And I have some who doesn't have that much attention. So we always tell vendors, be sure that this event is also for you and about you.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. We're being even far more intentional because we're carving out the time. But even if the time wasn't carved out, folks seek resources that they believe they need. Mm-hmm. So vendors should always, even with my shop, vendors should always make sure for whatever's being proposed, whatever the intent, since no one can promise how many people attend, mm-hmm. but for whatever's proposed and whatever the intent, vendors need to make sure that what y'all doing fits me, because it doesn't fit everyone.
True.
But to your point, that is another reason why we're being intentional, because our vendors really do get a lot of attention. Mm-hmm. And not everybody gets the same amount of attention, but everyone should bare minimum get the same amount of exposure. So that's where now is getting ready to be intentional. Mm-hmm. That we're glad you came. We're happy that you spent the money. And at the end of the day, we hope that folks really come to you because you are a resource in this community. And according to you, not according to Sandy, you got something to offer. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that your presentation and how you start off when someone walks by gets engaging. But with that, we have decided, we'll be even a little bit more intentional about it and make sure that there's carved out time where folks are being told at this time, get about your seat.
Get about your seat.
Networks with each other and go see these vendors.
Maybe that song, James Brown, get up on your feet.
Maybe it should play that. That sounds like you.
I think that would work. What do you think? You think it would work?
I think Monique is listening. So
get up
if that song happens, okay, all right.
Okay, yeah, okay. If I hear it, I'll know where it came from.
Yeah. We'll give you the credit.
Okay. Well, is there anything that you want anyone who's listening, anything at all, to know that they don't know about what you do day to day, what you guys create for the public? Anything you could think of?
Not what I don't think they know, but that is a good question. And the way I should probably answer it is our community relation outreach has a platform or system or a log of who we believe in the 31 cities can carry our message, who we believe with the 14 to 15 chambers who can carry our message, mm-hmm. who we believe and our other community partners, including Arrow and Beyond Arrow, can carry our message. What I would want everyone to understand is when we send you something, it's because we really do need you to help us carry our message. This office will never be able to reach 2 million on a weekly basis. This office finds it challenging to get to all of the 85,000 businesses, or maybe even the 18,000 registered vendors with Broward, my approximately 1,100 certified small businesses. Even within those numbers, we're trying to make sure that they have the information they need, and that the information we're sharing with them, they may know another business or an aspiring entrepreneur who needs that same information. So it's not so much of what they don't know based on what we're doing, but it is the idea that whether it's social media, whether it's Wednesday night newsletter, whether it's coming from a commission agenda, if you hear something about what this office is offering, or a partnership, or something we're doing, we not only want you to receive it, we need you to pass it on.
Mm-hmm.
Because the bottom part of your question, and we hear this even at all the conferences, I'll hear it and I'll make sure I come back and tell you who. I just did a meeting with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
I speak to them at least twice a year.
Okay.
And at the last executive meeting I was in, there was a business that was 31 years old in Broward County in Fort Lauderdale who had to say during the meeting, Mr. McDonald, that's great information, but I never knew your office existed.
Oh.
So see, we get it. I'm never gonna. I've been here 12 years. Come up in May. There's no workshop that I don't get someone say I didn't know. So we know everyone doesn't know. So because of that, that goes back to what I just said. If you do know, if you do get my information, if you're following me on the newsletter, if you're seeing me on social media, I need you to pass it on. Because again, I'm talking about 85,000 businesses, but I'm talking about 2 million residents. So at the end of the day, I'm government. No one's going to allow me $250,000 a quarter to buy TV ads. See, so those things aren't going to happen. Yeah. So I'm the old-fashioned communication. I'm going to use multiple ways, including social media. But if you see me, you must pass me on. Because I need businesses or residents or aspiring entrepreneurs to know that your county government does have some opportunities. If you're one of my municipalities and you receive my information, I need you to find a creative way for me to get it to your business community. Mm-hmm. See, I get it. I might be Broward County and I might be the Office of Economic and Small Business Development, but when it comes to small businesses, what city is your business in?
Pembroke County.
That's the point.
Yeah.
See, the businesses are aligned with the cities. They're not aligned with me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a small business program. I work with county businesses, but where do the county businesses come from? They come from the cities.
Mm-hmm.
So I need my businesses and I need my cities. When you get my information, share it. Because there's potentially another business who's simply not aware that we're here.
Mm-hmm. This also, you guys also use Eventbrite.
Yep.
As well.
Our community relations outreach. And
And
again,
there's a tab there to click to share as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So there's multiple ways to share. And again, we recognize, because analytics these days.
Mm-hmm.
So don't want to embarrass nobody. See, we know when you get our email. We know if you open our email.
Okay.
Or if you get it, you're not even opening. My whole point is, I would need to go one step further. I need you to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to open it.
Yeah.
I need you to share it.
Yes.
You know, and I get to talk this thing about marketing, and we didn't talk about this in the 80s and the 90s, but it was true then because they always had a hierarchy of how to really get information out.
Mm-hmm.
And today's hierarchy is, especially with all social media, you like me, Facebook, IG, LinkedIn, you know, when you read something from me and you like me, that's cute. If you saw my face and it's almost like I'm right next door to disappointed, I am, but I'm thanking you. I'm like, that's cute. I get real traction when you like me, but I get movement on that traction when you comment, and I got it going on
Mm-hmm.
when you share it. Liking me is ooh, they're cute. Oh, I know, Tamika.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, but hey, I How about a comment?
Yeah.
And if you're really digging where I'm going, how about move this on?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need. That's why we need the partnerships. If I'm ever going to be in a position to make sure that folks, at least in 1 or 2 generations away, are aware of what we do, 1 and 2 people away from what we're going to do, I need folks who are getting our information to share our information.
Awesome. All right. Well, everyone out there, you better start sharing. So I want to say thank you for this interview today.
You're
This has
welcome,
been
ma'am.
amazing. I mean, well, less of an interview, more of a conversation about, what happened, what's been happening, and what's coming up. So yeah, thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. And thank you
Yeah.
for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
And good job, too. Congratulations
Oh, thank you.
on the work you're doing. I definitely see, and I remember you from the first meeting, and I remember all of our initial meetings. So,
Yes.
Tamika, you're one who are really handling your business. So at the end of the day, just keep your business, and you'll grow your business.
Thank you. Will do.
All righty.
Thank you.